So start to notice the sensation of your body on the ground. And see if you can feel the places that your body is touching the floor, the earth, any props beneath you. And let your awareness of the sensations in your body start to travel from those places of connection to the ground through the rest of your body. And just take note of what pulls at your attention. And we're going to do our best to be really curious today. I have a teacher that says we're going to look through our curiosity goggles, and I love that idea, right? So looking at your body with curiosity, noticing sensation with curiosity. So rather than moralizing the sensations that you feel, right, calling them bad, can you just notice the quality, right? So notice if it feels heavy or light, sharp or dull, hot or cold, mobile or stable, meaning is it moving around or is it staying pretty still? And we're going to just let that be information. None of those qualities are inherently good or bad. Then let that same curiosity move from your body into your mind and take note of how you feel mentally. Notice the quality of your attention and awareness, your energy level. And we're going to consider the same things. So, do you feel mentally hot or cold? Heavy or light? Sharp or dull? Mobile or stable? And again, just let that be a little bit more information. Check in next with your mood and notice how you feel emotionally. And there's no right or wrong answer. There might be multiple answers. Let them all coexist. And then start to draw your full awareness into your breath. Start by just noticing that you're breathing. And then see if you can begin to gradually expand your breath by deepening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. Remember, we don't want to force or push, so only expand as much as feels doable. Start to notice where you feel your breath in your body. And we're going to start to find a directional flow of breath. So keep breathing at the pace that feels best for you. It does not have to match my cueing. It does not have to match your neighbors, right? So stick at your personal pace. But see if you can, on your next inhale, begin by first lifting your chest, then expanding your ribs, and then expanding your belly. And then when you exhale, see if you can draw in your belly, then your ribs, and then let your chest drop. So again, inhale is chest first, then ribs, then belly. Exhale is belly, then ribs, then chest. So stick with your own pace. We're going to talk a lot about breath today and its relationship to managing back pain. It can actually play a very large role. And many of us who struggle with any kind of pain in our trunk, really, right, might have some breath issues. Yeah. And it's very common to use the accessory muscles like our traps and our necks and our pecs, our chest, to breathe rather than actually using the muscles of respiration around our rib cage. It's a very common issue. Yeah. So just notice what you feel working here. And we're going to take 2 more slow, deep breaths like this, letting this directional flow, this expanded pace, feel comfortable while we're here in stillness, because we're going to start to move in a moment, but we're going to try to maintain what we have found with our breath as we move. Right. So start to gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. If you'd like, you can let your wrists move a little bit as well. And we're going to start connecting some breath and movement together. So please feel free to keep bolster underneath you, keep your legs extended or bent, whatever feels best. But bring your arms down by your sides. Okay. And just be aware of your neighbor in general. But when you inhale, see if you can take your left arm and reach it forward and up over your head. You might bring it to the floor, but don't force it. And then when you exhale, take your arm forward and back down by your side. And then next inhale, let's do the other side. Yep. Reaching up overhead, maybe touching the floor, but don't force it, and exhale back down. Now I'm going to let you guide yourself through this. Keep alternating sides. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. And just notice any sensation that's happening. What you feel happening in your shoulders, your arms, your upper back perhaps. Anywhere else. You might feel this in a totally different place than what I've listed. Also notice if there is a difference between sides. So let's maintain evenness. Whenever you finish the round you're on, making sure you've done both sides the same amount. The next time that you inhale, you're going to take both arms up. No rush. Get there when you get there. And again, when you exhale, you'll bring both arms back down. And let's do that a couple more times at your pace. Notice if it feels different than when you were reaching up with one arm at a time. What's it feel like for your arms to go straight up? And does it feel different if they go at a slight diagonal, like you're making a Y with your arms instead of straight overhead? Notice what you notice, yeah? Curiosity. So I'll do one more round. And whenever you finish the round you're on, let your arms rest down and just take a breath. All right. From here, let's all bend our knees. Take your time. Okay. And then we're going to pull knees into the stomach. Okay. And put one hand on top of each knee. Okay. Let your ankles relax. And we're going to keep holding on to the knees. Yeah. And as you inhale, extend your elbows and allow your knees to move forward just a little. And then when you exhale, bend your elbows and pull your knees towards you a little. Again, inhale, extend your elbows. And exhale, bend your elbows. Right? Keep going at your own pace. And this doesn't have to be a big movement, right? Your knees don't have to go as far forward as possible, and you don't have to crank them in as close as possible, right? Notice the subtlety and what sensations happen there. And so some of us might feel a big sensation in our low backs when we do this. Some of us might not. Both are fine. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. And then put your feet on the ground. Okay. Pull just your left knee to your stomach. And this time you're going to put your hands behind your knee or behind your thigh. Okay. And again, relax your ankle. So we're going to do a similar movement with hands on the back of the knee where we inhale and extend the elbows. However, when you extend your elbows this time, you're also going to extend your leg and flex your ankle. Now it might push straight up to the ceiling, but you do not have to be at a perfect 90-degree angle, and your leg does not have to be perfectly straight. Yeah. So whenever you're ready, inhale to extend your leg, really flex your ankle. Flex is the opposite of point. Yeah. And then as you exhale, bend your knee, bend your elbows, and draw your knee towards your stomach. Again, inhale, extend, push your heel up. Keep holding on to your leg though. And exhale, bend your knee, bend your elbows. Nice. Do that again at your pace. All right, the next time that you inhale and extend your leg, we're going to stay there. And remember, this is still early on in our practice. It is early morning. We are not trying to shove ourselves into anything. So try to hold on somewhere. Keep actively flexing your ankle. And notice what staying here feels like compared to moving in and out. Nice. Take one more deep inhale. And then exhale, bend your knee, bend your elbows, pull your knee in just a little, and then put your foot on the ground. Okay, pause. Notice what that felt like. And when you're ready, no rush. Let's pull right knee in. And hold on to the back of your right knee or right thigh. Okay. And the next time that you inhale, extend your elbows and your leg, flexing your ankle. And as you exhale, bend your knee, bend your elbows, and relax your ankle. And we'll do that a few more times. And notice if there's different sensation on this side. Yeah, for many of us, we are not symmetrical, right? So sensations are likely to be different between the sides of our body. Okay, the next time that you extend your leg, no rush, we're going to stay there. All right, so keep holding on somewhere. Keep actively flexing your ankle. And just notice the sensation here. Notice if it's different. Nice. Take another deep breath. The next time that you exhale, no rush, bend your knee, bend your elbows. Pull your knee in, and then put your feet on the ground again. Okay. So, with your feet on the ground, we're going to grab our block. And let me know if you can't reach your block. I'll come hand it to you. Yeah. Anyone? Okay. Now, so blocks have different widths, yeah? We have the super thin side, we have the medium side, and we have the long side. So everyone put the thin side between your knees or your thighs and give that a squeeze. Yeah, does that make sense? So just squeeze that. And I want you to notice what it feels like. So we all have different structures, yeah? So that means we don't all have to do the same thing. Okay, now take the block out, turn it on that medium setting, put it back, and give it a squeeze again. And notice what that feels like. And now you get to choose which one feels like it fits your body better and do that. Okay. Now, keeping that block there, we're gonna focus on our feet. Slide this out from underneath. So everyone feel your feet pressing into the ground evenly. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of a lift. Now, when I talk about bridge, sometimes people have this idea of this huge back bend. That's not what we're concerned with here. We're going to use this to be curious about the mobility of our spines. So what I am more concerned about than a big lift is fluidity in your spine, okay? So if you have a blanket underneath your head, let's slide it out to the side just to be extra kind to our necks. And feel your breath again. Remember, inhale, chest, ribs, belly. As you exhale, can you draw in your low belly all the way up to your solar plexus, like you can feel it zipping up. So as you inhale, unzip from your solar plexus, which is like rib area, down to your pubic bone. Exhale, zip up from your pubic bone. Okay. Take another deep inhale. And when you exhale this time and zip up, you're going to see if you can slowly peel up just your tailbone and your hips. Just a slow little peel up. And you're going to stay there as you inhale. And then the next time you exhale, you're going to zip up and see if you can roll back down one vertebra at a time so the tailbone is last. Nice. Stay down and take an inhale. Again, exhale, zip up and see if you can peel up tailbone, hips, and then maybe the first few vertebrae of your low back. Stay there and inhale. And then exhale, zip up and roll back down one vertebra at a time. Stay there and inhale. Exhale, zip up and peel up tailbone, sacrum, low back, maybe just a little higher, but don't force it. Stay there, inhale. When you exhale, zip up and roll back down. Okay, go at your pace, right? We are both lifting and lowering on an exhale. So we're staying down for the inhale, we're staying up for the inhale, yeah? No movement on inhale for this right now. And I want you to notice what's happening in your back. So where is your spine moving and flowing easily? And where does it feel kind of like a board coming up together or lowering down together? And let's all do just one more round like that. Feel what's working, right? What muscles are efforting. And then the next time that you are down, stay down. Okay, take your block and put it to the side. Pull your knees to your stomach. And let's do the same movement we did earlier. So one hand per knee, relax your ankles. As you inhale, extend your elbows. And as you exhale, bend your elbows. Again, when you inhale, extend your elbows, knees are going to move forward a little bit. And when you exhale, bend your elbows and pull your knees in. And you're going to keep going at your pace. And notice if this movement feels different now than it did before. We're all going to do two more. And when you finish your last one, put your feet back on the ground. Okay, from here, roll over to one side and flip all the way to your stomach. Get there how you want to get there. We're going to lie face down. Okay, forehead on the ground or a cheek on the ground. Let your arms rest wherever feels comfortable. Okay, forehead or cheek down. And notice what it feels like to be on your stomach. Notice how it feels different than being on your back. And feel your breath again. So remember we said inhale was chest, then ribs, then belly, and exhale is belly, then ribs, then chest. But now your chest and belly are pressed against the ground. So you might feel that directional flow of breath, particularly your inhale, in the back of your body. And that is some great information. So see if you can, when you inhale, feel a little space between your shoulder blades, then feel the back of your rib cage expand, and then maybe even your low back expand as your belly does. And then exhale again, belly, ribs, chest, and you might feel that pattern back up in the back of your body. So notice what this feels like. If it feels foreign, that's some great information, right? If it feels challenging, also great information. As I mentioned before, a lot of back issues can be contributed to using the incorrect muscles for breathing. And this is a good place to check in with those muscles of respiration that are in the back of your body, because we got to use those too. Ideally, when we're just walking around the world, we're using the muscles in the front, the back, and the sides so that our inhale is 360. Yeah? Okay. So, reach your arms straight back down by your sides if they're not there. Reach your big toes straight back. And see if you can make your legs be roughly hip socket distance. So when I say hip socket, what I'm referring to is where your thighs exit your pelvis, yeah? Okay. Now, from here, what's it feel like to gently inhale and lift your head and chest and shoulders? And then exhale, lower back down. You can switch your cheek or bring your forehead down. Let's try that again. Inhale, lift your head and chest, shoulders as well. And exhale back down. Let's do that one more time. Notice what muscles you feel efforting. Okay, once you're down, take a deep breath. Now, some of us might have felt our low back muscles working pretty hard for that. Some information. We're going to try it again with a slightly different approach and see if we can feel engagement in the upper back as well. So, just for a moment, everyone put your forehead on the ground. We won't be here forever, so if you are a cheek person, that's cool. We can go back there. But forehead down for a moment, and I want you to take your hand and touch the back of your head. You can put your palm, you can put a finger, you can tap, right? And I want you to think back of my head, kind of straight back from the bridge of my nose. Yeah? Okay. So we have informed our brain of a specific spot because we've touched it, we've gotten that feedback. Okay. Now put your arms back down by your sides. Okay. Inhale, lift your head, chest, and shoulders again. Now stay there and exhale. Now that place in the back of your head, when you inhale, lift it to the ceiling a little more. See if you can feel your upper back engaging some. And then exhale, come back down. And we're going to try that a couple more times. Inhale to lift up. Stay there and exhale. Now as you inhale, feel that space in the back of your head lift a little higher and exhale back down. We're going to do it one last time. Follow your breath pace. No rush. When you inhale, lift. Stay there for an exhale. Feel the back of your head as you inhale, lift a little bit more. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Okay, take a deep breath. All right, from here, we're gonna come onto our hands and our knees. Now, please feel free to put a blanket underneath your knees or your wrists if you need a little extra padding. We're gonna grab our block again. And we're gonna take that block on that medium side and put it between our feet or ankles. So if these were my ankles, this is how it would be. Yeah? Okay. Now, take a peek at your knees and make sure they are roughly straight down from the socket which they leave. Yeah? Okay. Now look at your hands. And what I see people do often is like this, right? They get really narrow. They think their shoulders are here, right? And I want you to put them just slightly wider than your shoulders, just a teeny bit. And then spread your fingers comfortably. Okay, and notice where your middle fingers are. And they might be pointing up at noon, yeah, if your hands were clocks. And see what it feels like to take your hands ever so slightly, so it's like pointing at 11 and 1. Just a teeny turn. Now notice what that did for your elbows. And if you bend your elbows, it might be a little easier to bend them back towards your legs rather than this, right? Right, so just kind of play with that a little bit. Okay, so I always like to preface when I teach that what we are about to do is not cat-cow. Yeah, it is different. It is different. And we'll talk about cat-cow some today. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I'll tell you why later. Okay, so when we do the inhale part of this that many people think of as that cow pose, right, where we're doing this big arch in our low backs, we're gonna not do that. We're just gonna focus on kind of what you just felt in your upper back on your belly, okay? But using your hands to help, so you can kind of tug through your hands a little bit, okay? And then when we exhale, instead of doing this big upper thoracic rounding thing that happens, we're not gonna do that either. We're gonna gently tuck tailbone and head and shift back so that we can stretch the low back instead, okay? So let's try it. So when you inhale, gently pull through your hands and see if you can lift your chest without your tailbone going super high. So sternum forward, shoulders back, yeah? And then when you exhale, tuck your chin, bend your elbows, and move your hips in the direction of your heels. They don't have to go all the way. Yeah? So I'm gonna demo up here if anyone needs to watch. We're gonna inhale, gently lift chest, right? Just like we did on our bellies, my sternum is reaching forward. And then when we exhale, we're gonna tuck chin, feel that zipper action in our abdominal muscles, and then move hips towards your heels. Yep, and then the inhale will be to come right back to where you were, pulling through your chest without sticking your tailbone out. And we'll just do that a few times. So keep going at your pace, and I'm just gonna mention some things as you go. So make sure that when you are shifting back, that you're really letting your head be heavy. You're letting your elbows bend, right? And you might not go all the way back because your back is like, no, we're not doing that. And that's okay. Just go as far back as feels comfortable. So when you come forward, try to pull your shoulders away from your ears. So you're lifting your chest instead of rounding your upper back, yeah? So when you come forward, there should be a flattening in your upper thoracic like you are doing cobra. Does that make sense? And an exhale, there should be a rounding in your low back. So if you find that your low back is arched on the way back, change your pelvis. Yeah? And do a couple more times. When you come forward, lift your head, lift your chest. And when you exhale, shift back. Touch your back. Okay. Make shoulders pull back. So instead of rounding here, yeah. And then when you exhale, push your low back into my hand. Yeah. There you go. Space here. One more from wherever you're at. When you go back this last time, stay wherever back is. Okay? And try to let your elbows be heavy. Try to let your head be heavy. Try to let your hips be heavy. Let your head hang. It doesn't have to touch the ground. And let's breathe here. So some of us might feel comfortable in this position. Some of us might feel very uncomfortable in this position. I want you to notice breath. So we talked about that 360 expansion. And often what I find that when people feel like they, quote unquote, can't breathe here, it's because they can't expand their breath into the back of their body. Yes, so I want you to focus on that. Just like we talked about when you were on your stomach. And let's take one more breath there. Okay. After that breath, you're going to ease your way onto your back one more time. Head can be whichever way you want it to be. I don't have a preference at this point. Okay? So I want you to take a moment lying on your back to check in again. Notice sensation that you feel in your body. Notice what feels different. Notice what feels the same. Difference can be small, yeah? So that was a very gentle and a relatively short practice. It was about a 30-minute practice, yeah? But we're gonna rest for a little bit. So make sure you're comfortable. And if that means bolster under your knees, if that means blanket under your head, do it. Don't worry, we will be doing much more movement today. I just wanted to give everyone a little short practice before we turned our brains on fully, yeah? So make sure you're comfortable, settle in, try to let your body sink into the support of the floor. Your eyes feel heavy in their sockets. You might let your lips and teeth gently part, let your mouth, tongue, and jaw relax, and let go of the effort in your breath. Just let it move in and out naturally. And I'm going to be quiet for just a couple minutes and let you rest. So without moving just yet, start to feel your breath. Let your breath gradually expand, bringing your awareness back into this space and back into your body. Take note of how you feel, and without judgment, notice any shifts that have occurred. Start to bring some gentle movement into your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles. And when you're ready, bend your knees and pull your knees into your stomach. And slowly roll to one side, all the way to one side. Pause there for just a moment. Give yourself a little space to transition between rest and the rest of your morning. And the next time that you exhale, push down with your top hand and use that to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. And we'll bring our palms together once you're there. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed if you'd like. Keep your chest lifted, gently bow your head, and allow your awareness to stay inside as you honor and thank yourself for creating time and space for a practice, for remembering the importance of spending time with your body, with your breath, most importantly, with yourself. Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so we're going to take a very short little break. If anyone needs to run and use the restroom, if you need to grab a drink or something to get comfortable, and then we'll get settled in and start our lecture. So, do we think we can do that in 3 minutes? Does that sound doable? Okay, we'll get started at 9:55.